Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning I have two guests. I have Nick Bock, the co-owner of 31st Street Capital, and I have Richie Lampton, the CEO of Premier Flooring based in Louisville. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great, Kemp. Thank you.
I'm talking to you today because of this news that broke this morning that Premier Flooring has acquired Sam Kinnard's Flooring, and I want to get into some of the details on that. But before we do that, let me go back to Nick for a second. Nick, it's another year and another deal, right?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be another year and another deal. We had planned on taking this year off and really just focusing on growing our existing portfolio. And really, I blame all this on Richie because he's the one that called me and said, hey, I think we have this great opportunity with Sam Kinnard. And here we are.
All right, let me just some background on you real quick. This is your sixth acquisition. You are a holding company. You and your wife own this. You're not a private equity-based company. You're using your own resources to pull this all together. You started with Floor Source in Phoenix, Carpet King in Minneapolis, Floors for Living in Houston, Total Floors in Chicago. Then last year, you brought Premier Flooring in Louisville. Last time we spoke, you had 44 locations, and we're doing about $110 million in annual revenue. Is that about right?
That's about right. Revenue's down probably a little bit from what we expected. I think we'll still end up around 110. We just needed that extra revenue from Sam Kinnard to help us get there. But yeah, and I think our total location count will end the year at 47. So that's pretty exciting.
47. Okay. All right, Richie, let's go back to you for a second. CEO of Premier Flooring, and you've got multiple locations. Tell us about your location.
We service primarily the single-family new construction and multifamily new construction segments of the market. So our stores aren't traditional retail stores. They're more builder design centers. So we have 4 of the design centers throughout Louisville, 1 in Lexington, and we are actually also expanding into Indianapolis and Fort Wayne as we speak.
Okay. And Sam Kinnard's, which was run by Jim and Donna Mudd, had some builder business, but also a pretty strong traditional residential replacement retail business, right?
That is correct. And that was one of the things that drew me to Jim and Donna. We've known each other for a long time. We're about 95% new construction, and it only makes sense to diversify with such a strong retail presence that Sam Kinnard's Flooring has in Louisville, and as well have a pretty good commercial presence, which are 2 new segments for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So moving forward, you use the Premier Flooring brand on the contractor side, servicing multifamily and builder business, and then all your retail business will go under the Sam Kinnard brand name, right?
That is correct. Yes, they have been in business for 34 years in Louisville and done a fantastic job of being persistent with promoting the Sam Kinnard's name throughout the community and the entire city of Louisville. So it only makes sense to keep running with this brand that's so strong in the area.
I was going to ask you what attracted you to them, but I think anybody that knows Jim and Donna Mudd knows what attracted you to them. I really enjoy being with them. They're leaders. In the NFA, Jim served as president and Donna served as a committee lead chair. And very active people, open, warm heart, can't wait to help people, with whatever their needs are. So they're focused on service, and they're also kind of focused on the upper end. I mean, they were a Stainmaster Flooring Center, an Armstrong Flooring Center, so they got better end goods in their stores, right?
That is correct. They have been very much leaders in promoting brand and promoting higher quality goods. And as much as I'd like to say that we see a lot of that business in the builder business, we really don't. So I really appreciate their expertise in the higher end aspect of the retail business. We hope to continue that and learn a lot from what they've put together over the last 34 years.
So they're going to stick with you for a little while. Tell us about what your plans are with Jim and Donna moving forward.
Jim and Donna both want to stay around. Jim is going to lead up the retail segment of the business. So he's going to be running Sam Kinnard as he ran Sam Kinnard last week. And we're very excited to, like I said earlier, learn from Jim on how to promote the brand and make sure we sell the higher end goods.
All right. One question I usually ask in these interviews is, how's business in that Kentucky, Indiana area?
For us, business is really good. Overall, the business is down. We are up about 5% through September on invoice sales. We're expecting to finish strong in the fourth quarter. We had our 2 dip in June and July, and that spurred from the initial interest rate shock from back in the late fall and early winter, where builders were really slow selling houses. June, July happened to be the month we weren't installing flooring in those houses they didn't sell. But business normalized as we got into 2023 for the builders, and we have built our backlog back up. So like I said, we're planning on finishing strong and finishing well ahead of last year.
I don't know if you've been watching the stats, but the percentage of first-time buyers that are millennial is much higher than it used to be. I mean, there's just the demand for these new families to get into housing, and so that's part of the stimulus, right?
Absolutely. And Louisville has been a large custom home building market for a long time. And over the past 2 years, a lot of the national builders and larger regional builders have come into the market and really bolstered the multifamily and the single family entry-level housing and affordable housing. And that's a really big deal because there's a major shortage, as there is everywhere, but specifically in Louisville, we found.
Richie, I got to ask you, what do you do on the first Saturday in May?
Well, I think you know the answer to that. We have been to the Derby more times than I can count. It's just a great thing for the city. And this year, actually, it's the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. So we expect this to be the biggest year ever crowd-wise.
Okay. And your outlook for the builder segment for 2024, you think it's going to continue to inch back up?
You know, I really think it is. And like I said, here in Louisville, we have had a lot of built-up demand for affordable housing. And I really believe that that's going to continue to grow in this market specifically. We use this as an opportunity to follow some of our builders here in Louisville that build in bigger markets such as Indianapolis, which is why we chose to go up there. So we anticipate our growth from taking market share and hopefully picking up a few points as the new construction continues to normalize back to where it used to be.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for spending time with me and our listeners, and congratulations on this next acquisition for 31st Street Capital, a new addition to Premier Flooring. Again, been talking to Richie Lampton and Nick Bock, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.